So I had an idea for winterizing my hives. Since I always get Waxmoth in the winter, I have some of my equipment here in my backyard. I found some pallet wrap, and I'm going to wrap up all the supers individually, let them freeze over the winter, and then hopefully for the spring, everything should be all good. Yeah, so I just thought I would just show anyone that's wondering if you get Waxmoth in your beehive. This happened to me this season, and I was sort of devastated because I had all this equipment from the previous year, and it was just sitting in my garage, and you know, 1 or 2 Waxmoths survived from the winter previous, and in the spring they just get going again, or the moths, you know, they start flying and they land inside your equipment that's open and unprotected, and you get this whole cycle happening again. So the mistake I made was my father and I, we scraped all these frames clean because they were just gonna get, the moths were gonna just ruin it. So I went ahead and ruined it myself, and you know, I saved the wax and I rendered it all down or whatever, and this is what's left. And this stayed, this summer I didn't need this equipment, and you know, the moths are still sort of in here and doing their thing. Mind you, they didn't have any wax or any pollen that they really like, so the damage is here, but the frames are salvageable and they're nice and clean still, even though they have, you know, the cocoons or whatever. So like I said, I'm going to wrap these up with the pallet wrap, and I'm going to let them freeze over winter in outside in my dad's cube van, which is like closed. You don't have to worry about mice or anything like that. You know, what happened in my garage with storing this equipment over the years is a whole other story with mice and things like that. But you know, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap these, and then we'll see. This is the first one. You know, you see how the frames look. They still look okay, but they do have the remnants of the Waxmoth that should be looked after. Because now in November, getting towards December, you're gonna have these sub-zero temperatures, and it's gonna take care of everything. Okay, let's see. So we got the first 2 here, wrapped up like this. I went around and around a few times. 2 like that, separately wrapped. So hopefully that'll be good. Let's do all the rest of them. Load them in the truck. And that's where they're going to stay for the duration. Okay, so I'm back here. I got everything wrapped up. I'm going to store it here on my father's cube van. You know, the title of this video should be, you know, desperation. How to get rid of mites, you know, or Waxmoth. Sorry? No, there's nothing in the boxes, but you know, they're all wrapped up tight now. They're looking good here. They're going to stay in this truck for the winter, and this is a closed truck. There's going to be no mice that can get in here or anything and chew anything up. You know, I wouldn't recommend to wrap your bee boxes in cellophane if you're going to keep them in your garage, because mice will probably just chew right through that. But you know, as for storage here, I think this is going to be good. I got all the rest of my stuff here. You know, this is all clean frames, but I just don't want to mix anything dirty stuff with clean stuff. So you wrap them all up, and that's it. Bob's your uncle. So, you know, this is kind of an act of desperation almost, I would say. It's like I couldn't figure out how to get rid of these Waxmoths, and it's making my life a living hell, you know. As a hobbyist, this was a little bit of work for me to do, but I only have 10 hives, so how much more work could it be? There you go. So I tried to explain what I was doing in case there's anyone that has the same problem that you and I had, that we could try to help them, you know? Because you tell people how much trouble you had, you and I, getting rid of these moths and what we had to do.
Yeah, it was a messy job.
It was a messy job. It was a terrible, terrible, terrible time. So now, you got, there's a jar of honey. You got a nice organized pallet here. 3 by 2 on one pallet. Nice and organized, nice and clean.
Yeah.
It's just I don't want this to fall. So is there any way you can help
Okay,
me out?
you have to move the skid right up against it.
How the hell is that gonna happen? You got this other little small thing.
Well, let's move that small thing. Right?
Okay, so I'll pick this one up.
Can you pick it up? Perfect.
And even if you put this one like this,
Yes, that's what we're going to do. We'll block it.
that won't move that way.
Put that one up on top.
Oh, on top.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. 'Cause I still got a little bit more equipment, but that's okay.
Beautiful.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll put this one there. Corner. This guy.
We can't drive like a maniac when this stuff is
That's
on.
why I told you I wanted to get some like ratchet straps.
Okay, we'll
and,
get
like, strap it around or something.
I'll show you what we're going to do.
I
Don't
wasn't
worry.
sure how to do this.
I'm going to help you.
So these ones here I didn't wrap up.
Okay.
I got a little bit late. But everything else is pretty good.
How about this stuff?
That stuff's gonna go on top. All this stuff too. So it's out of your hair.
I'll show you what we're going to do. Don't worry.
And instead of being in the garage
Yeah.
where the mice can get at it and it's gonna become a mess,
Yeah.
it's in here, sealed
Okay.
and relatively safe. 75 years old, still working.
75.
Everything still works. Whoop.
All right. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Now.
The only problem with this arrangement is when you drive, the stuff's gonna move.
No, it's not going to move.
So we gotta barricade this stuff. We got this and just a few more pieces.
Okay. Yeah. I'll show you what we're going to do.
But you need to use that wagon.
What? Until I can get another skid, we're going to just wagon there.
Why don't you just push that skid against there?
That's not going to work the way we want it.
I guess I could be helping.
No, you don't have to help. I know I can do this. We would have put something on here. You know that's not going to go nowhere.
It's good enough for now. So yeah, what do we got here? We got you got 12 deep boxes, some frames. It's all ready for next year. Just you want to stress the fact that if you have Waxmoth in your beehive, you have to let your equipment freeze. So people are saying, well, take 1 or 2 frames at a time and put them in your freezer. Well, if you got 20 hives, how are you going to put 200 frames in a freezer? Unless you have access to like an industrial freezer, you know, not everyone's that lucky. I know we're not. So you do it this way and you freeze it in the back of a cube van. The cube van's insulated, but you know, it's still going to be just as cold as the ambient outside temperature in this truck. So hopefully when it goes down to -20, you know, this stuff will get a good deep freeze. And come spring, everything is sealed up. Well, most of it anyways. Those boxes are sealed. So the Waxmoth won't be able to go back inside and lay eggs and start the whole headache all over again.
The only thing going to get laid here is going to be me. Never mind the moths.
That's good. So, you know, this is sort of a quiet time of year. It's a good time to you know, get yourself ready for winter. All the beehives are already closed up. Everything's hopefully winterized, you know, if you're in a northern climate. and you start to get caught up with cleaning and things like that. That's it. You know, father and son.
Father and son, we get it done.
The hobbyist beekeepers that want to make it big. I don't think it's gonna ever happen. You try to do treatment-free beekeeping, see how successful you're gonna be. But I'll never give up. That's for sure. How much honey did we get this year, Dad?
I can't remember. Wasn't very much.
About 10 liters. So
There's always next year.
there's always next year. When you're working 60 hours a week, it's hard to do your beehives at the same time as well. I learned a lot this year though too, because when those bees swarm, man, you lose out on honey production big time.
Okay,
Man.
there it is.
Okay, that's it. Nice and organized. I've been putting this off for months and months and months, and
Well
it's
done.
finally done. Okay.
Okay, my son, come down. We got phone calls to make.